1800s, the American military tried modifying bicycles to help infantrymen cross rough terrain. Cyclists continued experimenting, and the first mountain bike was created in 1978. The popularity of mountain biking has grown ever since. Mountain bikes are specially designed to perform on rough terrain. They have a suspension to help keep the wheels in contact with the ground, deep treaded tires for added traction, and powerful disc brakes for safety. At the core of a mountain bike is the small, robust frame. It needs to be lightweight, yet highly durable. The factory uses a test bench to simulate the effects of repeated impacts and vibration on the bike frame. 3 days of testing can simulate 10 years of intensive use. The frame is made from tubes of aluminum alloy. Aluminum is lighter than steel and cheaper than carbon fiber, and it won't burst like carbon in case of a large impact. They cut each tube to the required length. They use jigs to get consistent dimensions and precise cutting angles. This will be extremely important when they assemble the frame. Each model and size of frame has its own welding jig. They start tack welding the tubes in place. Then they proceed with the final welding. It's a delicate step because the tubes are very thin. After welding, the aluminum frame will undergo a heat treatment. First, the frames will be heated intensely, then quickly quenched in a cool bath. This makes the metal easier to work with. This next step is necessary because slight deformations are created in the frame during welding. Using precise measuring instruments and a rubber mallet to avoid denting the metal, a technician ensures the frame is perfectly parallel to the alignment table. It's not easy to align the shorter tubes, so he uses a longer rod for this task. After alignment, the frame will be heated one last time to harden the aluminum. Once the aluminum exhibits the right mechanical properties, it's ready for boring. This crucial procedure makes the inside of the hull perfectly straight and aligned with the frame's geometric design. In the painting department, they spray auto-grade paint, which then dries in an oven for 20 minutes. Next, they use ink transfer tape to apply the logo on the bicycle frame. After that logo dries in the oven, they will finish with a clear coat of varnish. Everything must be perfect. When buying a new bicycle, most mountain bikers pay very close attention to the quality of the paint job. The bicycle is ready for the final assembly. The assembler starts with the rear shock absorber, which contains oil to dampen the suspension movement. This way, the suspension doesn't bounce up and down uncontrollably after an impact. The stiffness of that dampening is adjustable by the rider. The assembler links the shock absorber to the seat stay. He installs the handlebar and the stem on the steering column. Next, he installs the rear brake caliper. This is a hydraulic brake, actioned by brake fluid that travels through a hydraulic hose. It's positioned on the frame in such a way that anchoring clips don't restrict its movement. Now it's time to install the crankset and the derailleurs. These are useful on technical terrain where quick gear changes are key to successfully maneuvering trail obstacles. He installs the rear wheel. It's equipped with 10 cogs and a disc brake. Its deep treaded tire will grip the ground of treacherous mountain paths. Now he screws in the front brake caliper. It takes about an hour to fully assemble the mountain bike. The fork provides the front suspension, while the rear suspension is connected to the rear wheel through a system of pivots at the back. As the wheel and pivots move back and forth, their movement is dampened by the shock absorber, helping to keep the wheel in contact with the ground. Mountain bikes are engineered to withstand the demands of off-road riding. Precise manufacturing and testing also ensure that the mountain bike will survive years of use and abuse. In many parts of the world, rice is the main grain. In fact, it is a food staple for nearly half of the planet's population. Native to Asia, it has been grown and consumed for thousands of years. But today, machines do much of the harvesting and processing in order to feed the enormous demand.